Hey, what's up, everybody? This is We Hired a Sitter for This. Gas Door's back.
Yes, indeed, baby. I'm here.
You are listening to the We Hired a Sitter for This podcast.
We hired a sitter for this.
We have a roster of like 7 sitters.
I hate authority, but I'm a mom.
I'm an old man. I need orthopedic shoes.
The laughs, the chuckles, the TMI.
Some people might say, why would you have kids? The oceans are rising. The economy's collapsing.
And they're not wrong. I'm Ross.
And I'm Patrick.
And we hired a sitter.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to We Hired a Sitter for This. My name is Patrick Holbert, and this is Gas Door Almonte right here. What's up,
going on?
dude?
Chilling. You know, I was thinking about you yesterday.
Yeah?
You know what I couldn't figure out? What was your nickname growing up?
Oh, I had a couple. Hobes.
Hobes.
Hobes was big.
That's hard. I like that.
Yeah, Holbert. Yeah, they used to call me Hobes. Sober Holbert was actually a nickname because I was the designated driver, which if you come to one of my shows and you hear me talk about all my drinking problems, you know that didn't last long. Yeah, Sober Holbert, Hobes, Patty Hobes.
Patty Hobes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you? Did you have one?
It's everybody calls me G because my name was is Gas Store, not was. I didn't lose it. Still the name. But yeah, it's not a traditional name.
Yeah.
So it was a challenge, like to remember that. It started a lot in high school. I joined the freshman football team, and
What'd you play?
I was a guard and a linebacker.
Offense?
Well,
linebacker is
yeah.
defense, right?
So,
I just revealed myself as a moron with sports.
There's no guards on defense in football.
Yeah.
But
I was a linebacker. You're like, I was a linebacker. I'm like, how many touchdowns did you score? I guess a linebacker could
in theory,
steal the ball and,
Yeah.
and turn it, run it back. A linebacker would run it back. He wouldn't turn it over.
literally steals the ball at gunpoint. You know,
Yeah.
he makes a run for it. Nah, but like no, like we had to memorize the names, and like you start. Freshman year of the football season starts when the class starts. So we're the only group that meets before the season, before class starts.
Right.
So you literally know none of these kids.
Yeah.
And they give you like a week to memorize everyone's names. And if you don't know the names by the end of the week, we have to run laps. And they don't check every kid. They just pick a random kid for that day.
That's kind of a beautiful thing for a football team. Like, we want to
it's
learn
dope.
everybody's names.
Yeah,
that's
literally.
really nice.
They tape the last names to everyone's helmet, and then after a week, they take them away. And then the coach will just be like, it's your day. And then he'll just start pointing at kids, and he'll point to like 10 people. And if you get them all right, we don't run laps that day.
Nice.
So yeah, like people kept getting mad because they couldn't remember Almonte.
Mhm.
They definitely couldn't remember Gas Store. So like I just became G,
Yeah.
you know. And then when school started that year, all of these kids who had now known me for a month were now randomly in my classes. So when they would be like, attendance, the teacher would be like Gas Store Almonte, and the kids would jump in for me. Nah, that's G. So like all the teachers started calling me G.
Yeah.
So it became a thing.
So it just stuck. And if you're G and I'm P, you're watching PG rated content right now.
Bang, we out here, baby. The brand,
We're
baby.
doing PG rated out of Brooklyn.
Clean material, family centric.
But now that we know the G backstory, we got to know where Gas Store came from. I don't think I
Oh.
have ever heard that name before.
You know,
I know you do bits about, or you did a joke about it back in the day.
It's just the truth. My dad is his Gas Store, but he doesn't go by it. He has like a nickname that everybody calls him. But
What's his nickname?
everybody calls him Leo.
Oh,
No
okay,
idea
yeah, yeah.
why. He won't tell me the story. His mom calls him Leo too, so that's weird.
Is that
'cause
his birth sign? Is he into the astrology?
I don't know if that is his birth sign. He's born in March. Would that be a Leo?
What's his birthday?
The what is that? The 28th?
I'm March 20th. I'm a Pisces. He's an Aries. Yeah, he's an Aries because that comes after Pisces. Yeah, he's an Aries.
So that wouldn't be a Leo,
No,
right? Yeah, I don't
no.
know where it came from, but like, but yeah, in a nutshell, in the Dominican Republic, there's like a book where like every day of the year it has a list of names that like if you're born that day, that's your name, and
Does it have options or it's literally?
yeah, it gives you like 5 for like each sex, but it's limited still. Like that's a lot of people, you know. So every kid that my grandfather had gone by this calendar. And my grandmother was against it. Both of them had been married separately before. So they're having new sets of kids. Each time they have a kid, they're fighting now over this because he's trying to keep tradition.
Right.
She's like, this shit is stupid. It's limiting. So like, day of my dad was born early. my grandpa was out turning up at the club. He's getting drunk. He's chilling. And like they tell him, yo, your son's being born. And he knows if his wife gets there solo, she's going to do another name.
She's going to do the paperwork.
Yeah. So he shows up. He's like, yo, we doing the name. She's like, if we doing the name, you fill out the paperwork. You know, and he miswrote Gaston into Gastor. And my dad got that name. And then he spent his whole life never being called that, but said, you know what? I love my name at the last minute. And said I want 2 of us and made me a junior.
That's amazing. I love that story.
Straight
and
up.
It's I have to say Gastor has a different weight to it than Gaston.
Yeah, it's a thing. Like I do believe you. I don't know if you become your name or are your name, but I'm definitely Gastor.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I thought about it. I was like, I couldn't be like some other like Miguel is a cool name, but that's not me. That's not my face. It's not, you know?
Yeah. Well, and growing up, everybody called me Pat. Just Pat. And I think I always didn't really like it that much. And then when I started going out in the world and socializing, going out, drinking and partying and stuff, I would realize if I was in a loud club and I was introducing myself to somebody and I said, I'm Pat, they'd be like, Brad or Chad, Tad, Ted, Matt.
Yeah.
And then I just started introducing myself as Patrick, and that people hear Patrick, they know what that means. And then my wife, she does not like Pat. She would never have sex with Pat. She doesn't think Pat's handsome. It's Patrick. Patrick is.
I'm gonna be real. You're not a Pat. Like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, like I'm not friends with a Pat.
Yeah.
Be like. Nah.
I was trying to do a bit about this. That like if you meet a Pat, like Pat is the kind of person that when he shakes hands, he's got like the limp handshake. It's like the dead. He's like, hi, I'm Pat. But then you meet Patrick, he's like, how you doing? I'm Patrick.
Yeah.
Pat is like the short version. It's like the flaccid version. And Patrick is the strong, erect version of the name. It's the long version. I feel like this went very quickly away from PG rated.
There you go. It happens sometimes.
But yeah, like Pat, the other tag I had, I'm just doing a bit. Pat is an adult who's still trying to get around to getting his black belt in adult karate class, and he lives in his parents' basement. Patrick, he'll.
Yeah, like I don't trust Pats in general.
Yeah.
I think Patrick has I believe that guy.
Patrick has a Roth IRA account.
Yeah, Patrick is responsible. Pat, not so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't even think you grow up from being a Pat. I think like you morph.
Well, yeah, and it does feel infantilizing. Like I'm not a little boy. And also Pat, of course, is a, what is that word? Ambidextrous, not ambidextrous. It's a gender non-conforming. What is that word? When a person is a little androgynous. It's
okay.
The classic It's Pat sketch from SNL in the 80s and 90s. Like, yeah, I'm a Patrick. I'm trying to convince the world I'm a Patrick. Is it working?
Yeah, yo.
I think I'm trying too hard here.
The Patrick is within you.
Yes.
You are the Patrick. Everyone has a little bit of Patrick in them. You just got to bring it out,
I want you to just keep going so that I can record that. We are recording it. And I'll play it each morning as a guided meditation.
Real talk, yo. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I am Patrick.
I wanted to. We're talking about names, so I'll bring this up now. I thought we could integrate a. I was thinking about something we talked about last week, which is, as men, we tend to not say how we're feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
I know I do. I withhold. I withdraw. If I'm upset by something, if I'm peeved or angry or cranky, I hold it in, I bottle it up, because that's the American way.
Amen.
Right?
I like it.
And we're talking about names, and it's making me think of this story I'd kind of texted you about, because I thought on the podcast we could do a segment called Why's Dad Cranky?
I'm with it.
Or What's Dad Mad About? I don't know. This is a work in progress. You guys can all be a part of us deciding what this is. But maybe it's What's Dad Mad About? And we can insert some heavy metal and some graphics or something right here. Because I thought we could use this as a way for every now and again. We don't have to do this every week, but we could check in about something that made you mad this week that maybe you didn't get to express to a therapist or a spouse or an audience. Do you go to therapy?
I don't. Never have. Nah. I'm not against the idea of therapy. I'm against me going to therapy. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, other people need it.
Good luck. If that helps you, cool. And I'm happy you found something, but I'm good.
Are you worried about uncovering? Are there things you're
None
avoiding?
of you will get my secrets, okay? They are mine. They are mine to keep.
You hang out long enough on this podcast, they're going to come out. This podcast is a secret revealing machine. That's incredible. Are you worried about uncovering stones that you did not want to turn over?
A little bit of that. I'm honestly like, yo, real talk. I'm against telling people certain things. I feel like as a comic, 99% of my life is already out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what I'm not sharing is for a reason. Like, that's my shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, I would say 98% of me is out. 1% of me is only to Gabby, my wife. And then 1% I won't even tell her.
So there's some lower
like
level
there's
stuff.
like shit that like, nah, I can't. I just can't have.
Like if your mind and your life, your inner life is a garage. You've got a lot of shelves that everybody has access to, including audiences. The American public is welcome to come in and look at my stuff because I'm going to share it with you.
Exactly.
But you got a dark corner that's lockable, and Gabby has a key to that one cabinet.
Yeah.
But then you also dug a tunnel hundreds of feet underneath the ground, and it's just bodies.
Core to earth, baby.
It's bodies.
Everybody that I've killed is down there, yo. All the murders.
And we'll never know about it. It would be a guy like you. You're so nice and pleasant.
That's how I laugh when I buried him.
Oh, that's incredible. I just think it's incredible that you were only 4 years old when you recorded the laugh at the end of Thriller. You know that laugh? That's Gastor.
This is how I've always sounded. I don't know what to tell you, B. I just came out the gate, deep voice.
I love the idea of you in kindergarten reading the Velveteen Rabbit in this voice.
I don't like green eggs in ham, okay? Next book.
The wheels on the bus. They're fucking broken. So anyway, did anything upset you this week? And you can think about it while I bounce this thing that happened off of you.
Yeah, you talk to me first.
Yeah, and it relates to my name. So in comedy, it's very often that we are helping each other out. We're introducing each other to, like, in general, comics in general, not you and I all that much, but like we're introducing people to other people to help them out. And somebody I know, a comic I know, I heard him saying that he really needs to work on new material. So I said, hey, you should email my friend Lauren. She does new material night at QED, which I'm doing. Yeah. I'm doing that show this Thursday. This should be out by then.
Miss Crass, what's up, homie?
Yeah, Thursday the 11th, I'll be there doing some new material. And I said to this guy, I said, I'll tell her about you. You have major credits. I admire and respect you. She would definitely book you, and you could headline it and work on all new material. She does a great job of curating the show. And she texts me a screenshot of the email this person sent her. And she said, is this guy kidding? And I look at the screenshot, and he writes to her, hey, Lauren, Patrick Holborn told me that I should reach out to you about doing your show.
Oh, my God.
It's Patrick Holbert. I don't know what my name is. I don't love my name. Holbert is a weird name. I've heard Holbrook. I've heard Holberg. I've heard Hobes, whatever.
Hobes is dope.
But I don't know what Holborn is.
Holborn.
And also, I've known this guy a few years now. We're not tight, but like... And there's something about somebody like, because I kind of couldn't tell if he was kidding in the email or not. Like, was it some weird passive aggressive like, hey, Patrick, whatever the fuck his name is, some loser said I should email you. And I don't know, for some reason it bugs my male ego. And I know this is petty. This doesn't matter in the grand scheme. And he didn't say anything bad about me. He just didn't spell my name right. But it just bugged me. Spelling
your name wrong, I'm okay with. Saying another name is wild. Like, he literally changed your name.
Yeah,
I agree with the offense. Because when you make the effort to reach out, he could have Googled you.
Yeah.
Like even I don't know this dude's name, but I'm gonna Google it to make sure that I'm not saying something out of pocket since he's doing me the favor.
Right.
He couldn't Google for 2 more minutes.
Yeah, and also we've like I've been on Zoom events and shows with him and stuff where like you see everybody's names on the screen. So he's HOLBERT has stared him in the face multiple times, and he couldn't get it right, and it just bugged me. And I'm like, who is Patrick Holborn? Who is this guy?
He's out there stealing your work.
Yeah, it's like,
one show at a time.
Patrick Holborn, the Holborn identity. Like, is he an action star that I can never be?
Listen,
maybe I should change. I have been thinking about going to the stage as Holbert because some MCs will say Holbert. Maybe that's an audience survey. Do you think I should change my performer name, my stage name, to Patrick Holbert?
I have thought of doing performances as someone else, but like it would blatantly not be me.
Yeah.
I got this idea. I do a show Sandwich with my homie Jess Solomon.
Yeah.
And one year for Halloween, we dressed up as condiment bottles.
Nice.
So I actually want to start doing shows as Ketchup.
Nice.
Like I just think it'd be fun. Funny you mentioned the name thing in QED.
What I like about you as Ketchup is you're sweet, you're spicy.
Thank you.
You're tangy. You add a certain flavor to things.
I think it'd be great.
And I want to smother myself in you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Was she mustard?
No, she was supposed to be, but the mustard costume got there too late. She ended up being like ranch.
Oh, man.
So random. Of all the costumes, but I mean
that's
guess,
good for a white lady.
Yeah, it happens. It worked. The brand worked. You know, but yeah, I want to do like sets like that. But like at QED, I showed up early once for my. They have like the 7:00 shows, but before that, they always have like a mic.
Yeah.
So I got there early, and I'm listening to the comics on the mic, and. No diss, most comics on mics are rough.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be. That's where they're working.
Everybody's doing new material.
Yeah, you're trying.
Yeah.
I hear a comic doing my jokes.
Really?
Like, fully. Like, I'm talking like, and my stuff is like story-centric. Like he's telling...
This person's like, my wife's name is Gabby.
Yo, straight up. Like, the whole shit.
I was supposed to be Gaston.
Yo, so like, I'm hearing my shit. And then the kick, so like I'm hearing it from the other side of the curtain where like I'm in the bar side. So I'm like, who the fuck? So I go on the other side, don't recognize the kid, never seen him before, never seen him do stand up. And like I'm staring at this dude do my jokes. And then to sign off, he goes, "That's my time. That was Gaston Monte." And then like people clapped the host, I'm not famous, so like the host didn't know who the fuck that was.
What?
But I watched like someone do my shit and say my name. So like I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I wasn't even mad that he stole my jokes. I was just in awe that it happened.
Or just confused. I mean, that's so confusing.
I don't know what the fuck it was. So
I mean, honestly, it sounds like a bad dream. Like, when you dream,
someone stole my identity.
You're naked or whatever. That's strange.
So I the kid walks out off the stage and like I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like I did it in the room. Like I pulled him out to the other side and I was like, yo, like you did my shit. And he's like, yeah, I'm a big fan. I was doing like your jokes and that's why I said your name because I didn't want it to. I'm like, but it looks like you're me. You understand? Like,
does he resemble you at all?
No, like it's just a random. Like I'm like, yo, like it looks like you're saying I'm Gaston Monte. He's like, nah, I was saying those jokes were Gaston Monte's jokes. I was like, that doesn't work. He's like, I'm not trying to steal jokes. I was like, I understand.
Was he doing a set that's available? Like he found a set of yours? And
yeah, it was stuff from my album.
Yeah.
So like he did like 5 minutes of my album at this mic. He thought that as long as he gave me credit, it was cool. And I'm like, nah, like you can't do any of this shit like at all. It's my jokes. Like
that is bizarre.
Fucking weird as shit. He's like, and like,
did you get his name?
I'm sure at the moment, but like I never saw him again. Like,
yeah.
But like because I talked like hard at the kid. I was like, yo, like that, you can't do that. But he's like, yeah, because I was like, I just wanted to get comfortable being on a stage.
Yeah. No, that's not how we do it.
Nah, that's not how we do it, homie.
Unless you're in high school, like you do hear the stories of like, you know, whoever, Chris Rock or whoever, like doing Cosby jokes at lunch or
right.
Whatever.
That's different. That's like you like recollecting or like sharing a moment with a friend.
Yeah, and you're a kid.
On stage, you don't freaking do another comics material. Because there's no dance numbers, there's no music. It's just what you write and say. Like, so when you say that, and then on top of that, you say like you or me, like it was very like disturbing to me. I went home, I checked all my credit reports. Like I was like, yo, somebody after me, yo. You know?
He sent you that Venmo request. Now you owe me money. That's so weird. And how long ago was that?
This is pre-COVID. It's got to be like 4 or 5 years back.
I mean, was there a part of you though that was like honored that this person was paying tribute to you?
Later, but not there. There I was tight. Like admittedly, I was like, what the, like I didn't even want to do my set because I was so in my head about what that happened. The only interesting thing though is the business me then kicked in. And you know, I was like, I could be MF Doom and just have comics performing as me in more places.
Interesting.
B, it made me think of that's something that musicians get that we don't. You know, like if a band goes out and performs your song, you still get the publishing.
Yeah.
We don't get that. Like a comic can't go out there, do your joke, and then say, yo, send that check.
Yeah.
You know
All
what I mean?
So let's say you go the MF Doom route. What is your mask?
Ooh. I mean, I'm known as Brooklyn Batman. That would be a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could definitely do that.
Wait, so you're known as G and Brooklyn Batman?
Yeah, I mean, I got a whole thing about it. So yeah, like at any time like a cute Batman kid video goes viral, people tag me on it.
Right.
It's pretty cool, like way of like filtering my Instagram feed, honestly.
Yeah.
I get like these little kids doing fun shit in like Halloween costumes during the year. It's great. I watched the whole documentary about that shit. Some little kid like dressed up as Batman, and like the whole city worked with the kid to make a story.
I remember that. Yeah, it was like a Make-A-Wish thing. Yeah.
Real talk. But yeah, I like that. But if I might go Michelangelo, Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? I like the whole like the new last Ronin. Am I saying that word right? Ronin or Ronin?
I think Ronin. Yeah.
Last Ronin.
Like
that
a
whole
ninja?
that whole storyline fire.
Yeah. Were you when you were little? Were you into the martial arts? Like, were you obsessed?
Yeah,
with it?
I took ninjutsu.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I made it to purple belt, and then my dad was like, yo, this don't make money. And then he made me play baseball. and that was it.
He's like, go join your other Dominican friends and pick up a baseball bat.
Real talk. He's like, he's like, I don't see any like pro martial arts league. Like, I don't, what we doing this for? And then he made me go throw baseballs at people.
He said,
you know?
Put the katana down, pick up the bat, put some pine tar in your hands.
Real talk.
What'd you play in baseball? What position?
I was both sides of the man, pitcher and catcher. So
nice.
like I would catch most of the week, but I threw very hard, so they would have me pitch on occasion.
You went both ways.
Hey, but yeah, man, for baseball that works, man.
Were you said you're a pitcher? So you like?
Yeah, like I threw hard, like for my age.
Are you lefty?
No, I'm righty. And like all of that stuff, like, well, like we joked about the voice thing. I've been this height since like 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Like I got to like 6 feet tall early.
Yeah.
So like they thought I was like, yo, this dude's gonna be the shit. When I was in 8th grade, right before high school, my dad like flew me out to DR.
Oh wow.
And like he had scouts watch me, and he had like
Gas Store number 1's connected.
Yo, he plugged in low key, man. Like I think that's why he don't go by his name. Like he got shit going on. But like yeah, like he
they're like, oh shit, Leo's here. He just landed the private jet from Brooklyn.
Yo, real talk. There's shit that I still can't afford that I don't know how I did it as a kid. And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. You know.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I had scouts check me out. They offered to like for me to play full time in DR, but like, you know, I was like, I was old enough to know that like, nah, I'm a Brooklyn American kid. I speak Spanish, I'm fluent, but I don't speak living DR Spanish.
Right.
You know, I'm like, that's a lot. And also like, he was like, yeah, we going back home. Like you gonna live here. And I'm like, I'm not doing that at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was his vision. He was hyped as hell.
I mean, we discussed last week. He is a businessman, so he saw you as investment.
Yeah, yo, straight up. He was hype. But I went home. I was like, I ain't playing baseball no more. He was tight. You know. And,
yeah, I was good at baseball. I played baseball until got too competitive.
Okay.
I played in a game once where one of the coaches had to stay home because his mother was really sick in the hospital with it was looking like this guy's mother was going to die. And the other coach sat us all down in the dugout and he said, listen, Coach Ken's mom is going to die today. And if you guys don't play your hardest and win the game, it's going to be a big letdown for him and his family.
Yo, I love this coach.
So we have to win this game for her. And I remember thinking, this is insane. I'm 12. I'm 12 and this is not fun anymore. So
did y'all win?
I retired. I think we did win, and I had some game-winning hits and stuff like that in Little League that felt like I felt that thing, like the glory of like winning. But yeah, it got so intense. I have some friends who are really talented athletes and stuff, and I was just like, I'll just be a fan for the rest of high school.
I miss that. That's one of the things I'm concerned about with my kids, that they're not getting enough of that. I think that everyone.
You mean competition?
Competition. The feeling of like really winning at something where everyone else is trying.
Yeah.
The reality check that you won't win most of those times when you try hard. And that in order to ever win, you need to try exceptionally hard and still probably lose.
I don't know what your kids are into, but they might argue that they're getting all of this from Minecraft.
Okay.
I think video games are like really serious and kids, but I'm with you. I want to see that.
I want to see
them out there butting heads a little bit.
Yo, you need to like struggle and attempt to do something. I feel like doing that early on is it teaches you about you.
Yeah.
And then if you're blessed enough to find the thing that you love, you can apply that. You know. But yeah, like I don't see enough of that in the world with the current kids.
Yeah. I was parking the car for one of those apartment shows that you did in October. Right in like Fort Greene area, and I parked next to a high school football field, and the team was out there doing drills and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought I was watching a movie. I was like, I haven't seen young people run around and do stuff like this, because I guess I just don't see it. I don't live near a school or anything, but like it felt like a throwback thing. I'm like, oh my God, there's 50 young people out there going for it and clearly like in pain. Like it did not look fun, but it was cool to see. And I know what you mean. Like, yeah, I think, my brother he played football and track, and he was really accomplished in those sports. And then he was a Marine, and he's really into like grit and resilience, and he'll send me quotes from Stoic philosophers. He actually gave me this book. I was thinking about we could read this. This is called The Daily Dad. He's really into Stoicism, and he's a power lifter, and I know what you mean. It's like you try hard things, you learn to lose, you learn to fail, you learn how to pick yourself up and go for it again. I was just like, I just will rollerblade.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my son like enjoys every non-competitive athletic activity. Like he likes being physically active. He likes taking part in nature, being outside, but he doesn't necessarily care. He doesn't avoid it. He just doesn't pursue games.
Yeah.
But like he does pull-ups for fun. Like he likes being physically active and in tune with his body. But like we had him play baseball. He had the gifts. He throws super hard. He was hitting really well. But like when we talked to him after the game, we like, yo, you were the best player on the team. Like, what'd you think? He's like, it's boring. Like,
yeah.
It didn't like click a thing.
I had that when my first day of soccer. I got signed up to play soccer, and this is when you're little, you know. And I showed up, and the coach was like, all right, kids, sit around. And they sit you in a circle, and they say, this is soccer. And in this sport, you don't use your hands. And I stood up, and I walked away. I was like, I'm not playing that fucking game.
So I can't use half of me?
So
the whole upper half is just gone?
Yeah. I literally did not play an ounce of soccer. I was out of there. I'm a quitter. I am a quitter, and I'm proud of it. But with your son, do you feel yourself having that urge of being like because you're a pretty masculine guy, you're a Latino guy, and I assume sports are important to the culture. Like, do you feel the urge to like force him to play an organized sport?
I wanted to early. He's gonna be 14 this year. I've kind of like moved past that. Like, I've accepted that like he's just another dude. It definitely like bothered me early on though. Like, I wanted him to do all the sports. I loved playing sports growing up. I loved finding things that I was good at. Like, especially like even in school, like I demolished kids at dodgeball. Like, loved that game. There are good friends of mine today that know me from junior high that like will randomly hit me up like, I got nightmares about you now.
They're like you kept throwing. We were all using Nerf balls. You kept hitting us with basketballs.
Yo, that shit was amazing. Yo, I still got like Renee, Jamal. Like, yo, my bad. I beamed y'all in the face so much. You know what I mean? But I had to do what I had to do. Jason, I met all of those though. Jason, I didn't like you. Jason, you deserved every hit.
Jason should have stayed in his lane.
Real talk, B. You don't come to school on gym day, okay? It's not your day, you know. But I feel like there's I think it's important to show that for a lot of reasons. Like, because ironically, I do think that now it's kind of like the opposite, and I think there's real value in showing that the brain is the most important thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love that we're respecting different mental capabilities and people that shine in different forms of STEM or art. And I felt gym taught that first.
Yeah.
That like, if you play different sports, you'd be surprised that like, oh, this kid that like you overlooked is great at this random game.
Yeah,
and like it kind of showed me that like I still remember this girl Colleen was super skinny, quiet, reserved, small, and she was nice at ball.
Yeah.
And it wasn't something I expected, and it really opened up my idea that like random people can excel at random things and things that they fell in love with that you didn't know about them. And I think that's important to learn. I think kids are getting that in different ways now. But like sports made that hyper clear right away. Yeah.
And also sports force students and kids from different kinds of families, different neighborhoods, different backgrounds, different socioeconomic status to all be together, work toward a common thing, and be the cover of a brochure together.
Straight up.
And
because you went to prep school, but I throw 90, and that makes us equal.
Exactly.
That, you know?
Yeah. Well, it makes you better.
Amen. In that game.
I also think I like how you said the brain is important, and you got to take care of the brain first. You got to be smart, and you can say to your son, like, "Listen, we care most about your brain. That's why we want you to go play football and put a whole bunch of holes in it." Just really freak him out a little bit.
You know what I mean? I want the messages to flow freer.
Yeah.
You know, the holes make that possible.
With CTE, yes, you actually absorb more information.
That's it.
You cannot remember any of it, but it absorbs.
Listen, I'm one person. With CTE, you could be 3 people, okay? We don't know which one on what day, but you could be all those people.
Anyway, we went on quite a childhood. Well, I have one more question to this tangent. When you were young and you were into ninjutsu and stuff, because it got me thinking. In upstate, me and my brother in the backyard, we had a pretty decent backyard, and we would get like wooden dowels, and we would pretend they were samurai swords, and we would just whack the shit out of each other, just like wail at each other with these things and play fight with swords. Did you ever like get into ninja stars and sword fighting?
Yeah, I mean, I had all the stuff like because I made it to purple belt. I don't know what that means, if that means the same thing at every place, but like there was white, purple, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, black.
Yeah.
So like I was like 2 away from a black belt, and this was in like 4th grade. Like
That's
I was
amazing.
like nice. So I had like all the shit, and like every time you leveled up a belt.
Cat Williams was a black belt by kindergarten. in every discipline.
Hey man, some people got it, you know what I mean? But I had all the stuff. Like I had like nunchucks.
Nice.
I had the baton thing that the police use. They called it something else, so it had like another name.
Disco stick. No, that's a Lady Gaga lyric.
But like I had
nightstick.
Yeah, but like it had like a ninjutsu name.
Yeah,
like
okay.
It's something like katana, but not, because that's like the sword. But
right.
like I had those things. And then like the stars. I was good with them, but I couldn't have them because I was a minor. But
Right.
like I used them at the school.
Did you have brass knuckles?
Nah, that's not ninjutsu. That's just fucking people up.
That's street street jitsu.
But straight up, like people would come by like in the front yard, they would see me with the nunchucks, and then I'd have to switch to playing baseball when my dad woke up. So I'd just be throwing the ball against the wall.
I think your next album cover should be you with just like all this gear, like just the nunchucks going in a blur.
The past life, yo.
Yeah. Yeah, we would look at there was like a martial arts catalog where you could look at like ninja stars or staffs or all the weapons and the garb, and we would fantasize about all the ways we could dress up and like be like the last dragon. But then we just went to the hardware store and we made nunchucks out of like a little chain and a thing, and yeah, it was pretty.
So like when y'all would hit each other, like where were your parents?
My dad wasn't around a lot. My mom came home at 5:30, so every day after school from like 3 to 5:30, it was like sort of a free for all. And my my backyard or our front porch was like a gathering place for all the kids in the neighborhood. We got into all kinds of trouble.
So you had like a fight club.
Yeah, there was some Fight Club level stuff. Like there was. Did you guys have potato guns in Brooklyn?
No, we had guns. Like just potato gun.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, we had to build guns from scratch with plumbing parts, PVC piping. You get a grill igniter, you get ether spray for a carburetor for a car, and you build a cannon that shoots potatoes. It's probably non-deadly. I guess if you were up close and really nailed somebody, you could kill them.
Huh.
But
I love that though. Like kids learning engineering.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That's solid.
Yeah, and then also we did play with guns too. BB guns. I remember playing BB guns on a soccer field with, I don't want to say people's names, but there's a handful of us literally shooting BB guns at each other as if they were like Nerf toys or whatever. And it's just like, what are we doing?
Listen, my boy Jeff and I bought a BB gun on a religious retreat, shot my boy Woody in the back.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And it was the highlight of the retreat. You know what I mean? We were there for God, but we laughed at Woody.
Wait, who was Woody?
It was one of my boys growing up. He looked like Woody from Toy Story, so we just all call him Woody.
Okay. If you're gonna look like Woody, you need a sidearm.
Real talk, yo. You should have been ready for the war.
Where was the retreat, and where were you finding an arms dealer?
Jeff is my homie. Like I talk about him a lot on stage. He's one of my dudes growing up. I don't know where he gets stuff, but he always had the stuff to get in trouble. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like, if there was an activity that like we could dream up, he was like, "Oh, I got that."
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how he got BB guns.
Lighter fluid,
straight up.
Porno magazines.
That's the dude.
Like
he's the plug.
Low grade marijuana.
Listen, he was ready.
Did you say the plug?
Yeah.
I just heard that word for the first time in my life last night.
That is wild.
At a meeting, and I inferred what it means, but I had never heard of that. And it's weird. It's weird that for the second time in my life that I'm sure I've watched movies where people have said it or whatever, but like, it's weird that you're saying it right now, and I literally heard it for the first time last night.
Isn't that incredible? Weird? Yeah, I would say it's been commonly used for like a decade.
Yeah, but that's like the supplier.
Yeah,
I assume. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
source.
I'm sorry. I just had to comment.
This has been slang by PG. You know what I mean?
That could be a segment. PG slang. I'm sure there's upstate slang I could teach you that'll blow your mind.
There we go. I learned about PB piping earlier today.
PVC, yeah.
PVC piping, you know? So we expanded.
Leo deals with that a lot. When he's
yeah, he does.
Dealing with a drainage problem in one of the buildings, he knows PVC.
Nah, he's a pro. He got all that down. But he lit him up. But Jeff is the dude that would have all that stuff. So I never knew. I just knew that he had it. And I know we had like free time. It's like a big open space in upstate New York.
Yeah.
They took all the East New York kids up there for like a weekend. And we had like an open grass field. We never had this before. Never seen grass like this.
You ever see those viral videos of like animals who are like raised in captivity seeing grass for the first time, and they're just like smelling it? They don't know how to walk on it. Were you guys like that?
Kinda, yeah.
That's sort of a dehumanizing. That's a very dehumanizing thing of me to say.
Jeez. Nah, like it's just more so like genuine joy. Like we know what grass is, and we all come from countries with that. Like our parents take us home, but like you don't get that in East New York. Like there's just not a lot of like we have maybe like 2 parks that are like semi-big. Highland Park about in North East New York.
A beautiful park.
Yeah.
You ever walk around the reservoir up there?
No, I haven't. I've been slacking on that, and I go on a walk every day in Highland.
Yeah.
But I gotta go up there. I usually just go around like the lower Highland Park by the basketball courts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go in there and then I go through the soccer field and like where where there's no supposed to be dogs. I go there and chill with all the dogs that aren't supposed to be there.
Right.
Everybody just goes in there and walks the dog.
The wolves of Highland Park.
Straight up.
All right, so you guys are upstate on this church retreat, and Jeff somehow finds a connect with a gun?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I could get that. And like he came back like half hour later. He had like 3 BB guns, and we started shooting them, doing targets. And then like somebody said, yo, that looks painful. We shouldn't be doing that. And he was like, nah, it's not that crazy. And then he shot Woody in the back.
That looks painful. We should test this.
And straight up, Woody was like, yo, he went down. He was good though. He bled a little bit from the back of his head.
Now I'm picturing Tom Hanks getting shot with a BB gun.
Real talk, B. It was a good time, man. But yeah, he Woody in general just gets hurt a lot.
Is Jeff okay now? Is Jeff's
a great guy. Jeff,
he's not incarcerated or anything like that?
Nah, because Jeff is like one of those dudes that like anything he picks up on, he's like a savant at. You know what I mean? So like he gets bored with like random things and like he'll have like an era where he's like really hyper focused on something. He gets really good at it. And then he's like, all right, let me try a new thing. So like locally, he's one of the better basketball players. Right now, he's like known as like a pool shark.
Yeah.
Like he's like in fucking billiard leagues and shit. And like I asked him, like, when did you start playing? He's like, oh, like 3 years ago.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So he's just one of them dudes that like whatever he's into, he gets really good at it, and people like him a lot. So that's how I think he gets plugged into all of these random worlds of resources.
Are you sure it wasn't Jeff doing your jokes at the open mic? Nah. He's like, I'm going to be a comic now, but I'll start with what I know.
Jeff is in my jokes. So like, if anything, I like Jeff is protective. Like he's like, nah, like that's me. I was there when that happened, you know?
Yeah. All right, so we went on quite a tangent here. I do want to make sure I ask you, was there anything that made you as a dad mad this week? Anything you bottled up?
The thing that bothered me this week is my son's school. So my son's school sends me a daily text message telling me if he's missing any homework or any projects or anything like that. My son has a pretty good average. He's doing his schoolwork, and he's in 8th grade. It is currently January. He's applied to all the high schools. We get the results in March. There is literally no way possible for my son to fail this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would have to not show up the rest of the year for his grades to balance out to below 65.
Yeah.
So I'm having a genuine hard time caring about these updates.
Yeah.
They send them to me. They're like, yo, you got to talk to your son. He's got to hand in his homework. I was like, you have no power over me, okay? Why are you sending me this shit? My son will leave you in June.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We get the results of where in March. He has a 90-something average. You are wasting my time. Like, just make sure that he shows up. That's all I need to know. Did he didn't die today? Cool. I don't care anymore. And, like, it pisses me off because, like, it puts me in the weird spot of, like, now I got to talk to my son about something that I know doesn't matter.
Right.
But I got to pretend that it matters. I got to sit there and be like, yo, you ain't do your homework. Being real, if I was in your situation, I wouldn't do the homework either. But I got to pretend that the homework matters when I know that when you're 35, no one's going to give a fuck that you didn't do the second question in the math homework for bonus points in January in 8th grade after you'd already applied to your high schools.
Right. And he has done so well that he has ensured that he can have a little bit of wiggle room.
He's
now.
got the cushion. He's chilling. And I don't think even he fully processes how much he could not give a fuck. He's doing work still. He's still doing all the base requirements, but he's no longer doing anything extra.
Yeah.
You know, and in my heart, I'm like, yo, you could so mail it in. Like you could chill right now. And like, I might be mad at you lowering your standard as a parent, but I can't honestly say it's gonna cost you. You did the stuff. You did the work. You know what I mean? I know when I had an office job, I would chill on Fridays.
Right.
You have a coast day.
Yeah.
He has a coast season. I remember the second half of senior year in high school, I didn't do shit.
Yeah, that's senioritis.
Senioritis. It's a thing. He's allowed that.
So he's in 8th grade?
Yeah, this would be the senioritis of junior high.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, this is natural. And they're sending me emails like, yo, you got to talk to your kid about this. And the next day it's done. He always does it. He just does it when he wants. His average, his test is fine. And everything's handed in. But I got to pretend that I care. Because, like, they send the text and, like, Gabby is more, like, about it. She's like, yo, like, this shit got to get done. And, like, she'll be like, yo, why aren't you talking to him? And I'm like, because I don't care either. Like, I feel like he shouldn't care. I didn't care at the time when I was in 8th grade.
Right.
I don't care now as a parent because I got friends that got 65s on all their tests. I got friends that got 99s on all their tests. And we all live on the same block now 30 years later. Like, nothing shifted greatly for either path.
Right,
you know?
I think personality types like yours and your son's drive teachers crazy, though. Because they're like, we just want this thing in on time when we want it. And if it's delayed a little bit or whatever, like, and he still does so well. It's kind of like students who are good test takers.
Right.
And they don't really have to study or do the homework in order to do great on the test.
Yeah.
That must drive them so crazy because for so many teachers, I assume it's like, this is a template I've been doing for 40 years now. Why won't he just give me the homework on time? And I'm not defending them. I'm just saying, like,
I am defending it. Like, and all
no,
your
I'm not
shit
defending the teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of like the biggest challenge I'm having. Like, I'm so easily like fuck the authority.
Yes,
and like in my heart, I want to tell my son, like, yo, don't hand in shit until the last week. Keep all the homeworks, do them, and keep them here. And the last week, hand in everything.
Hold them hostage.
Hold them hostage. Tell them you get them when you get them.
And then when you do get them, they're gonna blow your fucking mind.
Real talk. I'm gonna hire tutors. You gonna get the highest average ever when you feel like it. You know what I mean? Handing all that shit late. Like, and everything in me wants to do that. And like, I don't, only because I know he's the same way. Like, every now and then I see him get revved up, and I'm like, fuck, I can't like throw fuel on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I gotta tone it down. But like in his heart, I know he's on some like, yo, I don't gotta do this shit. I know I'm right. But if I show him that I believe in you, I'm the same way, it'll go too far.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because you want to bond with him as a man.
Yeah.
And who you do push against the system in your work and in life in general.
Right.
But you also there's that thing of like we all have to learn all the rules before we know how to break them.
And that's the thing, because like he sees it, right? Like his grandfather, my dad, like he owns shit. So like my dad don't take shit from anybody because he's like, I'm the guy. Like, why am I taking shit when I'm in charge?
Right.
And then I worked corporate, quit, and I'm a stand-up, knock on wood, that's working. I own my building. Like, I don't have a person that like can sincerely tell me do this way or else.
Right.
So he's grown up seeing that. And in my heart, I don't think I could function any other way optimally.
Well, that's an interesting thing that happens with people who do make a big success of themselves with their children. Sometimes the children, there are no stakes, and they don't have the same hunger level. So I think with your son, I hope you're able to delay your success a little bit for his sake. Because if you get too successful too fast, he's going to be like, now I really don't have to do shit because I'll be taken care of.
I mean, my dad, I think I told y'all, we're racing to 20 million.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a big part of the motivation.
We got to get one of those graphics where it says who's closer.
They are demolishing me, my parents. They got me beat.
Well, they had a head start.
They got a head start, they invested smarter. They got real estate, I invested a lot on net games.
We can, and I know enough about sports to know the Nets.
They're very 50-50.
Yeah.
It's very swingy.
Well, let me ask you this though: could you prorate your results versus their results? Like if you took into account certain algorithms or whatever, like could or equations, like could you say that you're growing at a faster rate than they did at your age, or something like that?
Yeah, but also like there's a lot of that because like even if I do that, like admittedly, a lot of my early successes are also with them.
Yeah.
So like I can't even do that because they would still win in that regard too.
Yeah.
We just going straight numbers now.
Yeah. All right.
Know? And may the best man win. If I lose, I still win because I get it when you die. Ha ha. Either way, baby. I wish you good health though.
Between you and your
yeah, me and my siblings, we gonna chop that up. Real talk. I'm gonna sell all 3 of them houses, buy a Bugatti. It's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? You're gonna be so mad at me in heaven.
I gotta say I don't support the car purchase. I think there are properties that will have a much bigger return later.
No, I agree. I'm joking. I wouldn't. I actually want to forever keep the stuff that my parents have built and that I have, just because I want to keep an attachment to my hood. I love being from East New York. All my stuff is there. Yeah. All of their stuff is there. I want to continue that. Well, most of our stuff is there, so I want to continue to do that. You know what I mean? I want to genuinely have a place in local politics, and I want to be able to keep part of that culture there. And I know I could only affect that if I own.
And then if you if this all happens sooner, you can go to your son's school and administrators and say you'll get his work when you get it, because I am this school.
Real talk. It's me.
This is my school now.
Super big dream, yo. Real talk. If I wanna be able to offer a free STEM program to anybody that lives in
science, tech, engineering, and math.
Yeah,
is that what that stands for?
So I want anyone that is 14 to 18 be able to do the program for free if you live in that area code, zip code. And then 2, I want to have a supermarket. Same thing. You could get whatever groceries you want if you live here.
All right, I'm moving to the other side of Highland Park.
That's my dream, baby.
I want to be in this neighborhood.
Real talk.
Or is it all of that except no whites allowed?
You could be white if you were there before me, because there are East New York whites.
Right, right.
I'm not anti-white. I'm anti-not East New York.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Tony Danza, East New Yorker.
You
know what I mean?
You live so close to my favorite street name in America, the Force Tube Avenue.
Yeah, yo.
I love the Force Tube.
Yo, a whole a street that's 4 blocks, but it's great, legendary.
I looked that up once to figure out why it's called that, and I can't quite remember. It might be related to the reservoir.
There's a tube of water or something underneath that was required for the reservoir, I think.
Yeah. And you're an interesting comic because so many comics live in Astoria, so they can go to LaGuardia to fly out. I feel like you could walk to JFK.
Yo, I love that trip. I don't book any of the airport. It's a 10-minute drive. It's great. I love my hood, B. We out here all day. East New York, Cypress Hills, forever. You know what I mean? Goodfellas. They shot it in Astoria, but it's about my hood.
Walk Hill, New York.
You know what I mean?
Farm country. Fresh air.
Gang.
Dewy fields, dewy sunrises.
There you go. That sounds beautiful too,
admittedly.
admittedly.
Think of cool things I could shout out about my
I feel like I need
hometown.
more of that in my life, admittedly. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah. Well, we're going to do that. We should start plugging this show. I don't know if it's a private fundraiser on February. Is it 23rd? It's a Friday night. We're doing Hyde Park, New York.
Hell yeah. We up there.
I was just saying to Gastor, we'll have to bring the cameras and maybe film a little documentary about doing a show together.
I like it. It's gonna be fun.
Co-headlining fundraiser or something like that. I don't know if I'm co-headlining with you or opening for you. Whatever.
I don't know what's happening. You're headlining.
Heidi V put it together. It's gonna be great.
Yes, indeed. It's gonna be a good time.
What else? We're at 53 minutes. Is there something else we should touch on before we wrap this one up?
So you text me. We try to figure out questions for the show, stuff to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
You hit me up before the show. Hey, we should talk about celebrity crushes and stuff. And you told me that your wife has a celebrity crush.
Yeah.
And then you asked me, hey, do you and Gabby have celebrity crushes? And I was like, nah, we don't do that. And you were like, really? Not even like Idris Elba. So Gabby walks in the room. And I'm like, yo, you got a celebrity crush? She's like, nah, that's stupid. And she shut it down so fast and angry that I was she almost questioned me as her partner. She was like, why would you bring this up now? You know who I am. We've been together so long. Like, you might have like caused a little rift last night. You know what I mean?
But did you bring up Idris Elba to her?
And then like I was like, then admittedly I tried to throw you under the bus. I was like, it's not me. Patrick told me to ask for the podcast. She was like,
well, because here's the concept. I think there's something to learn about ourselves as men, or think about ourselves by knowing what our wives like. My wife is obsessed with Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, it's a good-looking
like
dude.
a lot of women right now. He's a huge star. So I think it would be fun to discuss, like, what can she possibly see in this guy? He's fashionable, he's charming, he's funny, all that stuff. Many things that I am as well.
You question it.
But many things that I'm definitely not. So I thought it might be a fun little segment to pick apart each other's significant others' celebrity crushes. But Gabby apparently only has it for you, so congratulations.
I don't even believe that. I just think she's like settled. She's like, yeah, this is what I'm getting. You know, like,
or she doesn't want to open the can of worms of what it would even feel like to openly talk about.
Yeah, it's just not what we do. Like, I don't know. That's not how we connect.
Yeah.
I'll ask her any of those questions. I would never bring that up. Like, the most I want to know about like Gabby's past is like, yo, what'd you have for lunch yesterday? You know, like.
Yeah, you two have a lot of history.
Straight up. Like, I know, like we've been together for ages, and then before that, she was my homie's sister, still is. Right. But like, I've known her, so like.
Yeah, did you know each other as children, as 9 and 10-year-olds?
Nah. We met in when I was 13. She was 15.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, she though knows my cousin since she was like 9. Like she was in the same grade with like one of my cousins. Yeah. So like she's known my family since like 9.
I mean, I think there is a thing that happens with your spouse where it does become so much deeper than just like a romantic partner. You end up raising children together. You're roommates. You're like coworkers. It's like, it's crazy how deep the bond goes. So
yeah,
I definitely don't want to mess with that in your marriage by bringing up a topic
it's
like
just
this.
I realize like there comes a point where like when a marriage where like she was like, y'all got time for this frivolous shit. Like, why you why are you asking me this question? Okay. Do you understand? I'm folding laundry right now. All right, like I don't got time.
She's got business to do.
Yeah, we got shit to do. I don't daydream about shit like this right now.
Yeah.
Okay. I like you. We cool. Everything good. Cool. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah. And you're the entertainer.
Yes.
She doesn't need to be a part of.
She's like, I don't do these shows. I don't care about this shit.
Your silly little radio project. Well, I'm happy to know where she stands.
Listen, man. If I had to guess, I know she watches the vampire shows.
Oh yeah.
The Supernatural thing, I think, is another one with the two brothers that are Brolic.
Oh, I don't know.
There's like two white boy brothers that like they're mad diesel and tall. One of them was the first boyfriend of Rory on Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
That dude hit puberty and then did this other show.
Okay.
With like another dude that was his brother. I know she watches that show. And then she watches all the like Seattle based and the Chicago based shows. So like Grey's Anatomy and then the adjacent fire department show. And then same thing with like Chicago Fire, Med, and PD.
She likes men who are good in crises.
Real talk. And I think I've demonstrated that.
Yeah.
Like I get shit done in like scary moments.
Yeah, is it George Clooney who was on Grey's Anatomy? No, he was on another medical show.
Yeah, nah, that was before our dating time.
Right.
Yeah, nah. This is
Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, like the dude that just won the most like handsome, but it was after he left the show. He was on that show. He was was it McDreamy?
I think that's Patrick Dempsey. Yeah.
So he's on this show, but he already croaked on the show.
I would say you are the Patrick Dempsey of East New York.
I'm out here, baby.
You're handling business.
Hell yeah.
If it's a medical emergency, you'll call somebody.
I know who to get. You know what I mean? Real talk. I'm going to show up with PVC piping.
You just talking about texting, you reminded me of something else I texted you about, and this is weird to tack on to the end, but you tell me if this is weird.
Okay.
I'm proud of this.
Okay.
So I'm on Reddit. You know, you use Reddit for your stuff?
On occasion. Yeah, for sure.
I'll use it to like. I use it for a lot of reasons. I like Reddit. People shit on Reddit. I found it to be very useful,
Reddit's
especially with neighborhood stuff like like there was an explosion recently, and I went on Reddit. I was like, hey, did anybody see that explosion? What the hell was that? And I learned within minutes, without downloading the Citizen app, that some truck blew up, and it was pretty close to my house. Whatever.
Oh shit.
So I was on Reddit one day in the Bushwick subreddit, and somebody said, hey, I received a holiday ham. It's a frozen solid holiday ham in my freezer. I can't use it. Does somebody want it? And I'm like, that's Christmas is coming up. This is last month. I'm like, I'm gonna get that ham. I'm gonna tell this person I want the ham, because we weren't traveling for Christmas. We were gonna have an open house for our neighbors and stuff. And I messaged the lady. I said, I'm having an open house on Christmas. The ham sounds perfect. Can I pick it up? She was like, yeah, nobody else is DM'd. Come get it. We meet on a street corner in Bushwick in the middle of the night. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I pull up in my car. I roll the window down. She's got a ham in her hands in a bag, and she passes in the window. I say, thank you. Happy holidays. And I go home and I put the ham in the freezer. Ross sees that I got a ham, and she's like, oh, you got a ham. And I was like, yeah, I didn't really want to tell you about this because of how I got it. And so I tell her I got an internet-free ham from Reddit. It's a Reddit ham.
Hell yeah.
That we can cook on Christmas. And she just like rolled her eyes, but was also simultaneously grateful that I did it. Because I'm just trying to provide for my family, you know?
My man out here hunting,
yeah,
you know? Making it happen for his people.
This is hunting in 2023. This is in December. But what do you think about free food? Because here's my mentality is like, somebody should make use of this.
I agree in principle. I would never trust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would have been like checking for piercings.
Yeah.
Like, did somebody do something funny with this pork?
Yeah.
I am in awe at like
the trust.
Yeah, that's wild to me.
Well, I definitely profiled this person. She was a very small Asian lady who was just like she struck me as like a nerdy kind of like NYU student or something.
Okay.
Because that's what I thought, all those things too. And then I just profiled her. I was like, this is a trustworthy person.
Okay. Like I would have been checking their Reddit score. You know what I mean? Like how many points you got? Because like that would be a weird way to like.
I may have looked to see if they posted elsewhere about other stuff, and I can't remember if they did. But it was like a Harry and David is some brand, like you mail, like if you want to mail chocolates to somebody. Okay. It's like a pretty nice
It was a
brand.
nice ham.
Yeah, it was a nice Reddit ham. and then what happened was Franny got sick for Christmas, so we stayed home anyway, just us. So I made this huge ham.
Oh.
And then we ate ham for like a fucking week straight. And I was just I started turning into the Reddit ham myself. I was just like sweating salt.
I will say, like, whenever something like that has come up, I never tell Gabby. Gabby's like anti-trusting anything, right? So like
yeah.
I would have had to like make up a story about it. Like, yeah, you know, I felt like we deserved this ham, you know, so I wanted to like splurge a little. I hope you don't mind. I would have got credit for it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So I mail ordered this Harry and David ham to ourselves. I should have done that. I should have gotten a lot more points.
Listen, I feel like you work too hard, honey. You know, I don't want you to like go out shopping. It's Christmas, you know. It's a time for us. Let me take the lead on this. I looked this stuff up online. I found a great review. You heard of Harry and David? You know what I mean? I found them. Great reviews. I would even start building in the truth into the lie. I found it on Reddit. I found all these reviews.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They rave about it.
I love that.
Harry David. You know
I
what
love that. Build truth into the lies.
Yeah, yo.
But then she's like, why is it in a fucking CVS bag?
That's how I marinate, okay?
Yes,
you know what I mean? That's how we do it in upstate New York, New Hyde Park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's part of nature. But yeah, you know, I wanted you to take today off. Let me handle the cooking, you know?
Yeah.
And boom, you good. Now you got like weird internet ham that like your family can eat, you know? As long as nobody goes to the hospital that day, you don't gotta share that story.
Yeah, we're all still breathing. Internet ham is a good name for a web series.
I like that. Internet ham.
There's something to that.
That sounds like a band that would go check out.
Yeah.
Internet ham, yo. Yeah. I dig that.
All right. Well, this is fun. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. This is the show.
Yeah, I think we got some.
Yeah. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Peace.